Hi everyone and welcome to Dana Builds. I'm Dana and today we are back in Willow Creek and we are doing the final house in this neighborhood, the low income neighborhood, and it's the BFF house. And like I say about all the houses here, I don't like this one either. I don't think it just, ugh. I don't like it. So I'm going to demolish it and I'm going to rebuild. And I have decided that I don't want them all living in like a house together, like housemates. They don't really strike me as BFFs. So, and that's just a function of the game, obviously. So, what I've decided to do, I've decided to build a large house-like building. But my thinking is that this is an old house or something like that that's being converted into apartments, and there will be an apartment on each floor. So they will all have their own living spaces. And then if I ever play them, what I'll do is for each apartment, I'll just only have whoever lives there be able to access it by locking the door for everyone else but them. So, and here I'm getting started. The build part. It's pretty self-explanatory. I don't like this roof, so I get rid of it. And then I ended up doing something a bit different with the roof. And I wanted to do the roofing and the siding very similar to the other houses that are in this neighborhood, just to sort of tie in the same kind of aesthetic so that it doesn't look out of place, and that it could actually be just a large house that was converted into apartments, and it's here in the neighborhood. So my plan is the first floor apartment will be Summer. That'll be her place. And then Liberty will live in the second floor apartment, and Travis will be up on the third floor. And so they'll have like stairs that go up, and they'll each have their own door to their apartment. That way it can be locked, and we can keep the other ones out if we want, or they can be invited over, I guess. But I kind of thought of it that way because I don't know. I don't get and it's because the way the game is. Like they're acquaintances. So, you know, I I think it would be more fun to have them have their own space, and that way each apartment can be sort of geared to the different Sims, and they each have their own little balconies here, which you can see I'm building right now. And yeah, so when I thought of this idea, I was kind of excited about it because, you know, it's a nice replacement for that house. And, you know, the lot is really big, so it could, it's got the space for a bigger building. That might not necessarily be a house, but here we go. And then now I'm dividing up. Now that narrow spot there, that's just going to be like the hallway with the stairs, because I didn't want to make the apartments too big. And this obviously isn't going to be a limited build either. I used all the packs that I wanted to because I based each apartment more on a set color scheme, and you'll see how that unfolds as I get building here. And then yeah, so just a little porch and similar hallways. All look the same. It's all the same paint. The apartments also have they have the same bathrooms and the same kitchen, because I figured when this house was converted, they would have, whoever built it would have bought all the same appliances, same fittings and fixtures, and they would have done the layout the same, because that's usually what happens with apartments, because they get a deal on, toilets and whatever. So that's why I did the layout exactly the same for all the apartments. So they have a living room, kitchen area, bathroom, little hallway there, and then a bedroom, which is the bigger room there, and an office at the back. Summers isn't really an office, it's more of a craft room, but you'll see once we get there what I did with that. And yeah, I had a hard time. This is Summer's apartment. It's the one that took me the longest because I had to figure everything out, like the bathroom layout, and the kitchen layout. But then once I got to Liberty and Travis's apartments, it got a lot faster because I used the same bathroom and same kitchen layout. And I used the same shower in all of the apartments, but I like this one because you can change the color so it looks like different shower curtains, which would make sense because, I mean, obviously you're going to have the same tub and that, but your shower curtains are going to be different. And I made sort of a little entryway there just to kind of break things up so that you're not just walking right into the apartment, and just to give it a bit of a definition. And so now I'm going to do the kitchen here. And it took me a bit to decide the color. Like, I knew I wasn't going to use that red. I thought maybe I'll do that blue, but then I thought, no, you know what? If this is an apartment, it's going to be very neutral and plain. So that's why they have the white fridge stove, white counters, and I do put in cabinets as well. And I decided to do the island on an angle because I kind of liked how that looked, and then it would take up less space so that she'd have more area in her living room. And all of the apartments will have the kitchen like that. And for Summer, I decided that her color schemes would be pink, blue, and gray. And I wanted her stuff to be really, really bright and vibrant because she's cheerful and outgoing, and I think because like she does hers her career is culinary, so I figured she would be a kind of creative type, even though that's not one of her traits. But so I just wanted her place to be really bright and very colorful. And her furniture all kind of looks like it's, my intention was she kind of picked up stuff here and there. Like, my thinking was with the sofa and the love seat that maybe they had belonged to a relative or something, and she recovered them in that really hot pink, and just sort of an eclectic collection of things. Because with her career, she doesn't make as much as the other two. So I kind of thought maybe her stuff would be more of a mishmash or mix and match type thing. And I'm really happy with the way that came out. I do like that bright pink combo. Pink is not normally my color, but I do like it in this particular case with the blue. And I decided to do the walls different colors for each of them because living in an apartment, you can paint as long as it's you either put it back the way it was when you move out, or it's a color that doesn't take like 20 coats to go over. So that's why I decided since the layout was going to be the same, and the kitchen and the bathroom were going to be the same, that I would do different color schemes for all of them. Then that way there's sort of a little bit of personality or differences with their apartments. So they all have different paint swatches used. And As you can see, summer, we got more of that pink and that blue. So that's why I didn't limit it to packs either, because the color coordination part of it. And then I decided to put windows at the back. So you can see me doing that here. Normally what I do is I do windows at the front, and then as I'm decorating, then I'll decide window placement, because I don't know what my room layout's when I first do the exteriors, and I don't want a window in an awkward spot. So I usually wait until after I get the room layouts done and I start decorating to pick windows and window placement. And then with Summer, we're almost done her room here. And I just gotta put that vase on there. I think that's it. Oh, and then she gets some candles. Her career is all kitchen stuff, right? So I thought maybe I'd do kind of like a craft room for her instead of like an office. So that's why I decided to use a lot of the things from the Nifty Knitting, because I thought that one might be fun for her and she could build a knitting skill or whatever. So that's what I ended up doing here. Yeah, I decided not to use the couch, and I moved this pegboard thing over here because it looked funny on that wall, I thought, with the chair and that. So now we're just finishing up with curtains and stuff and a little bit of art for Summer. And then that's Summer's apartment done. So now we're on to Liberty. And with Liberty, the colors I picked were red, orange, blue, and gray. Which sounds really kind of weird, but I think they turned out quite well. And I sort of wanted to give her kind of a retro sort of vibe. So a lot of stuff that I used when I did the decorating for her apartment, I used a lot of the bowling night pack stuff, the Get Famous, and Vintage Glamour, I believe. Now you can see she has the exact same bathroom as Summer, except her shower has a different curtain, her little shelf has a different colored towel, and she has a different towel on it. And then we get it's exact same kitchen, and actually this one went a lot faster because I already knew the layout that I was going to do. So it was just a matter of putting the pieces together. Yeah, and I have to check Summers just to make sure that I got everything exactly the same. And then we have the little island here. And I found for some reason that one side didn't want, the left curved counterpart didn't want to fit very well, so I had to use Alt Place to put it there. I don't know, it's probably because it's on the angle. So there, that's, now I'm getting into Liberty's colors here. And I used a different, I guess they're bar stools. Those chairs for the counter there that's got the sink. I used different ones than I did for Summer. Summer's were white and they matched with the kitchen and stuff. But I kind of wanted to use the bowling night ones for Liberty's because they had that, the cushion is got that orange streak on it. And then once I put this coffee table down, I decided I didn't want to do the gray sofa. I wanted to match that blue that's in the coffee table, and the love seat and sofa that I picked here actually went very well. And then that's that little hall table there. That's another thing from bowling night. I really like that kind of, sort of vintage vibe that the stuff in that pack has. And I really wanted to do that for Liberty. And there's me adding more money because I ran out. But I really like the stuff in that bowling pack. I like that orange shade that there isn't a lot of stuff. Now these paintings are from Get Famous, and I think they look really, really good and tie in the whole room. And I believe that rug is Get Famous as well. And then I give her a shoe rack. Excuse me, I just had to cough there. Yep. I changed my mind about this color of the wall color, because I had originally just put the blue, but then when I put that bed down, and that bed is from Get Famous, I believe, I decided I wanted to get the wall color closer to that green color that's on that bed. So that's why I changed the wall color. And I used the same swatch as the one that had the trim, because my thinking was, like the white trim, my thinking was that, you know, if they'd moved into this apartment building, it's going to have the same trim in all of the apartments, and all that they're doing is just changing the paint color. So that's why I picked those particular swatches. And we're getting close to being done Liberty's bedroom now. I just got to pick curtains for her. And some lamps, and I believe she gets a rug, but not until a little bit later on when I'm doing the office. And I really like that poster. That's from Get Famous as well. And I love those lamps from the bowling night. I actually like quite a bit of the stuff that's from that pack. And I like the stuff from Vintage Glamour and Get Famous as well. So I try to use some of it in some of my builds. Yeah, that desk is the Vintage Glamour desk. And then that's Discover University. That chair. And I decided hers would be a traditional office. I mean, she has the astronaut career. So she has the computer there, and she has a chess table there to work on her logic, and the bookshelf and whatnot. So, yeah, and those are wall decorations from Get Famous. I kind of thought maybe she's a bit of an old movie buff. You know, it kind of ties in with her sort of vintage or retro aesthetic. And so that's her apartment done. And now we're up to Travis's place. And for Travis, his color scheme is green, light gray, green, dark brown, and light brown. And he gets the biggest TV. Summer got a TV, it was small. Liberty didn't get a TV at all. She has a computer, so I figured she didn't really need a TV. And I didn't want to put the money up too much. So that's why she didn't get a TV. But her living room looks nice. It doesn't really need a TV anyway. And then he gets the same bathroom, except his shower curtain's different. His little shelf is different. And I decided to put a robe in there as well. But it's exactly the same as Summer's and Liberty's bathroom. And then here we go with the same kitchen again. It went really quick, this part, which is good because sometimes the hardest part is just figuring out the layout, I find, of the kitchen and the bathroom. So if I already have that figured out, then I'm ahead of the game there. So now you can see I'm going to start picking his colors. So we've got the light brown, dark brown, and green. And so it's a fairly dark wall color, but I think it looks quite nice. And then he gets the bigger wall-mounted TV, and then that TV stand underneath. And because he's a geek, he gets the video game stuff as well. I've come to think of it, I think Liberty's a geek too, but she didn't get any video game stuff, so she'll have to play on her computer. And those are just the cheapy base game sofa but I really like that shade of green, so I thought it came in quite nice. And he got blinds instead of curtains because I just didn't want to fuss with trying to find green curtains that I could get on those windows. And then instead of like a hall table, he gets, I put in a bookshelf because I just wanted to sort of make things a little bit different. And then some movie posters for him. And now we're into his bedroom. And I really like that dark brown color for the wall. And then his green and brown bed and the green nightstands. So his apartment is quite subdued, but that's fine. I found both Liberty's and Summer's were quite bright, so it was nice to do an apartment that's just very sort of calming almost. And there's quite a lot of nice green swatches for things in the game, I find, so I didn't have too much trouble doing his apartment. And then now we're getting into his office. So he has a much better chair because he has the, it's the tech career. And I thought he might like to have a gigantic jukebox, just sort of like a, kind of like a collector-y type thing, you know, where you can listen to music, but it just a little bit over the top, I know, but I thought that would be kind of fun to have that in his apartment, just to kind of make things a bit different. And then that's Travis's apartment done. And now we're getting into a little bit of landscaping. I didn't go overboard. And this lot is really, really big. You know, I had thought about maybe doing some townhouses on this lot for them, but I liked the idea of just giving them apartments because they are young adults and they're kind of just sort of starting out. So it made more sense for them to have just, you know, little one-bedroom apartments. So, and then I used that tree. I love that tree, and fortunately that this lot is big enough to be able to handle it. So, and then I did the fence, but I made the mistake of starting at the house, which was thought it was a room, and it added it to the foundation. So in the backyard they get a pool, and I do a platform with a barbecue and a little gardening space. I didn't go too hog wild with the backyard because I was running out of money by this point. So, and I didn't want to add any more because I didn't want to make this lot super, super expensive. I mean, it costs more than the original lot did, but I think it's an improvement. And now we're coming to the end. So if you like this video and you've stuck with me this long, please consider subscribing. Leave a like if you liked it. And until next time, take care and bye for now.